What happens when a judge stares down a repeat offender and warns her she's one step away from a felony? In this case, the stakes are higher than you think. 10 years in prison, life-changing consequences, and a judge who makes sure she'll never forget this day. Stick around, because you won't believe how this courtroom exchange unfolds. And if you love gripping real cases like this, hit that subscribe button so you never miss the next one.
My concern.
It's painful, Judge. You know what I'm saying? It's painful.
Hello, Judge.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, sir. Thank you.
What we had discussed, Judge, just so, and there's a full disclosure analysis we're talking, Marissa had agreed to have a plea to the deed of application of the terms, including the treatment that's been recommended by the T-House and all this type of stuff, which we had agreed that would be one of the ways to resolve it. And that would still have them dismiss the PCS. But once we talked about the idea of setting her up for failure, if you would, I wasn't comfortable that she would be able, or this court might even be able to accommodate issues that would arise.
Pause here, did you catch that? The defense is pushing for treatment instead of harsher penalties. That's called a plea bargain with conditions. But the judge is not buying it at face value. Why? Because if the defendant cannot stick to the plan, it sets her up for failure. And in court, a failed deal almost always comes back worse the second time around.
Because she couldn't even get to her meeting or
You can always accommodate. Always. There's never a way that we can't. Never doesn't work in our vocabulary. And the thing that I want you to understand is that I don't, you now, once you plead, if you plead to this, it's going to go on your record. It is now a second offense. And the last thing we want is for you to graduate to felony status where you're looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary, right?
Yes,
And I want to make sure that you understand that there are consequences to behavior. You need to understand.
Boom! That's the gut punch. The judge flat out warns her. One more slip, and she could graduate straight into felony territory. 2 to 10 years in prison is not just numbers, it's life-altering. Viewers, let me ask you, if you were in her shoes, would this scare you straight, or would you roll the dice anyway?
Understand that if you ever get in a car, you smell like alcohol, you smell like dope, they're not going to care whether you're spilling, fall down ass drunk, or you've urinated yourself with your vomit. It doesn't take that for them to file a felony charge on you. Even the faintest smell of alcohol, the faintest droopy eyelids, the faintest sway in the wrong way, they're going to charge you with a felony DWI. And now you're looking at up to 10 years in prison. I, at all costs, want to make sure that that doesn't happen. And in my experience, what I've seen, when people have too easy, right? It never works out well. And I don't think that a time served on a DWI second is appropriate. I understand that you may take care of other people. I understand that you may have life issues. Actions have consequences. You not only have this DWI second, but you also have a felony possession of a controlled substance. He's worked a tremendous deal where they're going to dismiss the felony case. I'm going to tell you now, anytime you can avoid a felony, you're winning. Anytime, it doesn't matter. Because once you get that felony conviction, I cannot tell you how many doors that closes. And not only just from...
This right here is gold legal advice. Avoiding a felony conviction is like dodging a wrecking ball. It does not just mean no prison. It means her future job prospects, her right to vote, and even basic benefits like food assistance stay intact. One felony can slam doors she did not even know existed.
Potential work, but I'm talking issues with the state, being able to get state resources, funding for things like food stamps, perhaps lose the right to vote. It really closes a lot of doors. And I want to make sure that that doesn't happen, So,
Judge.
We usually, now this is a second, you, by law, must do 5 days in jail as a condition to probation, right? I don't know if you guys have worked out an agreement where they're going to waive that and plead it down to a first, thereby waiving the jail time, but there's mandatory 5 days in jail as a result of this. That's what you need to understand, which is the other consequence of this. Now, if they're willing to do that, I'm certainly okay with that, but time served. And the probation, if you do well in the beginning and you show us that we can trust you, we will allow you to do virtual reporting through Zoom. But we have to know that you're going to do well. There are not going to be any issues. And most importantly, you're not going to use.
Absolutely, sir.
Because that's what matters.
Yes, sir.
All we're trying to do here is make sure that you don't take a life on the road. So that you have enough of a crappy experience here that 15 years down the road, when you're placed in a position where you're intoxicated out there, man, should I get this car? I had such a miserable time in court with that Judge Fleischer. God, I never want that experience again. That's the idea.
Yes,
because
sir.
I want you to remember me 20 years from now when you're in a position of vulnerability where you make the right decision.
Absolutely. Yes,
And
sir.
hopefully with the probation.
Did you hear that? The judge is not just sentencing her. He's planting a memory. He wants his courtroom to be burned into her brain so that 20 years from now, when she's tempted to drink and drive again, she remembers this moment. That's tough love in action, half punishment, half psychological safety net.
We get you understand.
Absolutely, sir. I agree. It's fine.
Now, you have a probation officer, right? Your probation officer is always willing to work with you. If they call you in for a drug test and you're in some kind of situation where you can't, you let them know. We will give you the line to Shatoria here. She's absolutely an angel, is always willing to help you out. We can give you direct access to her. If you have a problem, call us, call me, call her, and we will work something out. But there's never a way that we can't work something out. There's always a way. There's always a way. Always.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Give me a minute or two to talk
No
to
rush.
Mike, Judge. and-
No rush. And I mean, your case, Mr. Knowles, it's only what, like 140 days, right?
We won't have it over today, Judge.
Well, you don't have to.
Well, I think we're at that point. So I think just a little conversation, I think we should be able to get.
Okay. For sure.
And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Sure.